Good afternoon, Floss Tube. This is the Soulful Stitcher, aka Melanie. So, if you are new to my channel, welcome. If you are returning, thank you. Um, this is going to be fairly a short video. Don't really have a whole lot going on, but I do have some whips to show you. Life update. Everybody's great. You know, we're just out here kicking and grooving just like the rest of you, working, paying taxes, and raising up families. I do have a little bit of good news about my oldest son, which I'm just glad that every time I do these videos that I always have great news to share about him. You guys know that he is working on being an accountant, and he currently is working two jobs as well as going to school. So I'm really, really proud of him about that. And the awesome thing is he has been getting a lot of offers for internship. Within the last 2 months, he has taken so many flights to the accounting firm's headquarters. Even though the local firm might be in his particular area, he still has to go to the headquarters and meet, the top accountants, the top firm holders, however you want to say it. And so he has some really big decisions that he has to make in the next couple months, because a lot of these are going to be kicking off in the summer of 2020. So very, very, very proud of him. I got to meet the young woman. Very pleasant, just beautiful. I mean, just beautiful, and so I'm glad that they're still going strong. So that's pretty much the life update. Everybody's just doing good. We're doing what we're supposed to. So let's get to the reason why you're really here, which is cross stitching. Um, I have been doing a lot of stitching, which I'm really happy about, because I have joined the I Love to Stitch Challenge, or I Love Stitch Challenge, for the embroidery.com group that Donna runs. And the challenge is to stitch every day for 30 minutes. They give you 4 days that you can miss. I'm not trying to miss any days. And then in March, for my group, What Whip, we have March Madness, where we are going to stitch for 31 days without missing a day on whips. That group is totally about whips. No new starts. So I've been getting a lot of stitching done. The only thing is I've been really focusing on certain pieces. So I don't have a lot of whips to show you, because in the group What Whip, we are required, I've set the standard where we're required to finish 4 whips in 2020, and one of them has to be finally finished. So I'm trying to really narrow it down to those 4 whips that I really want to see completed in 2020. So let's talk whips. And matter of fact, we're going to talk whips, but we're also going to talk haul and focus pieces as I show you the actual piece. Because there's no reason to break it all up. So let's start with haul. Let's start with my first whip. So this is one that I really love. And that's the other thing too. Like, I have really, really loved the pieces that I'm working on. Like, I just can't put them down. And I'm trying to get a dent in them. And I'm get ready to say a word that does not fit in my personality or character in any way. But I'm actually feeling a little overwhelmed. Yes, overwhelmed. Don't tell anybody. I got a certain, reputation I have to uphold. So, yeah, because I have some pieces that I'm in love with, and it's just not enough time in the day. When I get off of work, I literally probably have 2 hours to stitch, because my wife gets up super early in the morning, so she has to go to bed by some time, a certain time, so that way she can function through her work day. But so one of the pieces that I really love is called the Always and Forever sampler, and it's by Stitches Through the Years, which I'm sure you guys have seen this. Let me bring it in just a little bit. This is how far I've gotten. And basically what I did, as far as this piece is concerned, I just did my own conversion. I used some DMC and then I'm using some Victorian motto threads. But I really love that piece and I want to get as much done on that as I can too. But as you see, I'm saying, oh, I love it, but yeah, don't really have a whole lot done on it. So I got to get that together, like, real fast. And you're going to hear, you know, some crinkling or whatever. You just have to deal with it, dude. Like, it's not going to kill you to listen to a little crinkling. So the next piece, which is fairly old, Jung Sunny created this. I think this is a 2014, 2015 whip. It doesn't say. It doesn't give the copyright year. But I know I purchased this when she first brought this out. And this is called the Korean Traditional Household 2. There's a Household 1, which they show the household stuff that applies to a man. And then it shows the household things that apply to a woman. So I'm working actually on the one that applies to the man, by Soda Stitch. And this is where I've gotten on it. I'm doing it on 40 count lamb's wool linen. And when you guys saw it last, I did not have the hat done. So I'm really, this right here. So I'm really getting, you know, a lot of this done. And I want it done. Like, this is one that is a focus piece. It has to be done in 2020. I mean, it's really not that big. And in all honesty, there's absolutely no reason why I shouldn't have it done. And so, so that's a focus piece. Okay. So while I'm putting, you know, stuff away, I hope you guys are having a lot of stitching time too. I mean, it's just a great stress reliever. It's so relaxing. And I'm putting this video up on a Sunday, but last night, Saturday, I stayed up until like midnight doing some stitching and was watching Pride and Prejudice, like one of my favorite movies. Okay, let's put that back in there. So the next whip that I have that is definitely a focus piece, that is definitely old, that has been sitting around for I don't know how long. But the cool thing is, every time I show this piece, people are like, oh my gosh, I love it, this and that. So it makes me really happy that, you know, somebody or somebodies are following my work and, you know, really like to see it. So without further ado, it's Sky Blue Street. That would help. Sky Blue Street by Soda Stitch. And the last time you guys saw it, and this is just done on a 40 count white linen, and I shouldn't have. And I'm thinking about, once I stitch this, of restitching it. But the last time you guys saw it, I did not have a lot of the bakery done, I don't think. And now I'm working on the bakery door. So not a whole lot, but this is definitely a focus piece that I want done. I want it done, and I just want to get it over with. So that's another whip slash focus piece. And I like it, don't get me wrong, but it takes so long, dude. It's like so much stitching. And I think also because of the fact that I'm just really not happy with the fact that I did it on white. So that kind of like, you know, I don't really want to work on it. But it's fun once you know, it's not really the problem of stitching. It's getting started on stuff that makes it difficult. Kind of like it's not hard. I mean, it's difficult to lose weight, but the hardest part of losing weight or eating healthy is actually getting started. So this is another, this is not a focus piece. This is one, it gets done when it gets done. And everybody knows this one, which is Let Freedom Ring by Lila Studio. So check this out. I'm doing this one on 46 count. No, excuse me, 45 count. I think 46. 45. Just ivory linen. And the last time you guys seen this, I didn't have the outline done on this, and I definitely wasn't starting in the middle. So, Nicole Needlework is one of my favorite floss tubers, and I love her because if I'm having a bad day or I'm just not in the mood for a bunch of loud activity and noise and stuff, her voice is very calming and very soothing. And who doesn't love her work? Who doesn't love her samplers? They are absolutely stunning. So I was having a problem with this at first stitching on it, and I'm like, I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to start it all over. But then after watching her videos, it's like, I can't be a punk. I can't be a wimp. You need to keep going. This is going to look amazing on 45 count. You need to suck it up, Buttercup, and let's go. And that's exactly what I did. Sucked it up and kept going. So I'm going to continue to do that one on 45 count. I mean, just looking at her work on 40 count, 45 count, 46 count, and I think she's even doing a 47. I could be wrong, but I think she is doing a piece on 47 count or something, and I was just like, yeah, Nicole's a trooper. Like, you need to cut it out and let's go and stop all this foolishness. So I cut it out and kept going. So this was a new piece of, this was a haul, a new start that you guys saw last time, and it's called Summer Baskets, and I just got it at my local needlework, and it's from the group Scissor Tales Designs. I'm using all of the called for Gentle Arts samplers, and when you guys seen it last, I just had like half of this first block, and that's it. So now that I've gotten all 4 blocks done, I'm starting to fill it in. And this is just on a 40 count cream color linen that I had in my stash. And this is very pretty. But this is the weird thing. If you take a look at the pattern, you see how dark the threads are? Like, look, just take a look at the border real quick. See how dark the threads are? It looks absolutely nothing like what it's calling for. However, I'm not upset because I actually like it to be brighter. So that's fine by me. But I have never really ran into some of the issues that other stitchers have ran into, meaning you bought a certain skein of floss, you ran out, you went to go get another skein, and the dye lot was different, or the pattern isn't what it's supposed to be in this. And I haven't ran into that. So that was the first time that I had ever encountered something that was quote unquote off. But it still turned out to be a benefit. It really didn't bother me. So the next one that I am doing is by Verbena. I believe that's how you say her name, Verbena. And I'm doing Pink Garden. Now the cool thing about her is that you get an invite from her to join her group, and she actually gives you one pattern for free. And so this called to me. I really like this. I'm all about gardens and flowers and stuff like that. I love stuff like that. So this was a new start because I've never showed it to you guys, but I've only gotten this far on it. I'm doing it on a 28 count even weave, and I'm actually stitching this over 2. So, and this is where I'm at. And that's not really a focus piece. That's kind of just when I get a wild hair or something, I'll work on it. Okay, so next up, we have another new, this is a new haul piece, new start. And this is by one of my favorite designers, dude. I now have 2 favorite designers, Shannon Christine Designs and Little House Needleworks. My number one go-to. Listen, just my number one go-to. If you've never seen her designs, you are totally missing out. Shannon Christine is phenomenal, just phenomenal. So this is one of her patterns, and it's called Pretty Flower sampler. I mean, just look at that. The bright colors, the bee, the birdhouse, the teapot. It just has my name all over it. This kind of reminds me of the LGBT flag, which is a part of my community, or I'm a part of that community. I'm just screaming. Love it. Love it. And so, this is how much I've gotten done on it, though. I know. You love stuff, but you ain't really getting no progress on it. Just ignore that. So that's how far I've gotten on it. Gotten the bird or wood duck, whatever you want to call it. And that's also kind of a piece. A lot of my spring stitching will kick off in March. Another piece, another whip. You guys saw this last time. And this is, let me just set this down. This is, where are you? Pink Barn by Shannon Christine. Look at that. I mean, just this right here, just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. And I love the way her designs look. I don't know what software she uses to create her designs, but that soft pastel-y look, I love it. Okay, so here's another one that I worked on too. This is like long, and I started it up again because I saw Priscilla and Chelsea's video, and this is by Little House Needleworks called Lantern Lane. Everyone's familiar with that. And I'm just doing this on another 40 count piece of lamb's wool linen. And this is where I am at on this. The last time I showed it to you guys, I did not have this filled in. I did not have this filled in. I didn't have this tree done. I didn't do anything to this, I don't think. Oh, and down at the bottom, the snow wasn't filled in. I still got to do a little bit of the sidewalk there. But I'm getting that done, too. That's not really a focus piece. That's just, I work on it when I'm in the mood to work on it. Probably like in Soulful Stitching, on the 25th of every month, we do a Christmas piece, winter piece, whatever you want to call it. And so it'll probably just be one of those ones that I pull out each time. And then, last but not least, these are two pieces of haul, New Start. And so I watched Lynette's video, Homesteading on the Home Front. And she showed this pattern. Dude, I had to have it. Had to have it. I was so fortunate and so blessed too, because it was out of print. I put a posting in my group in Soulful Stitching, and another stitcher hit me up and said, listen, I have it. Do you want it? And I was like, yes, please. The price was phenomenal. I threw in a little bit for shipping, and I am in love with this. This is definitely a focus piece. It's going to be finished in 2020, and this is where I'm at. And matter of fact, when I get finished this video, I'm going to get back to it. So this is just a 32 count, like raw or something like that, natural something. Some of the fabrics, like many of us, it's just some unnamed fabric that I have in my stash, and it works for the pattern, so you use it. And I'm using DMC 3031, excuse me. Looks fabulous with it. And then to do the pieces of time in the middle, I am going to be using Victorian Motto Sampler Autumn Green. So I was so freaking happy when the stitcher hit me up and was like, baby girl, I got what you need. Do you want it? I'm like, yes, let me scratch my itch. Okay, okay. All right. And then last Told you this video wasn't going to be long. My other focus piece that I absolutely love it. Love it. So, Lori Mischievous Stitches showed this on her floss tube. And it was out of print, and she was able to contact Erica Michaels and get Erica to bring it out of hiding and to start circulating it again. So, last Charity for All. And I freaking love this pattern. I love it. And so what I'm doing is I'm stitching it over one on a 28 count linen called Mink. Look at that. Look at that linen. Beautiful. I love it. And I'm stitching it with the silk. And the silk that I'm stitching it with is Splendor Silk. The Splendor Silk, in my opinion, is absolutely phenomenal. I love it. It's the words are showing up glossy. They're showing up dark. I mean, it's just for this. It's for this pattern. What I was absolutely looking for. Now there in the pattern, like here and here down at the bottom. Oh wow! So here. And then here at the bottom, it does a color change. I'm not going to do it. I'm doing everything in Splendor Black, and it's going to look awesome when I'm finished. And this is definitely a focus piece. If anything, this is the #1 focus piece, and this will definitely be finished by 2020. So I am loving this. Loving it. I didn't really buy too much, because I'm doing Stitch from Stash. But I did spend 28 bucks, dude. So I've got to count that against my budget. I had gained 15 because I had did all woman. And the only thing I have left to do on her is the shoulder, like her sweater or whatever, but there's so much black. Oh my goodness, I'm like not even ready to tackle that yet. So she's in hiding, not in hiding, but she's put away, and I will get with her another day. But so I gained $15 for her, but then I turned around and where is it? Uh-oh, where are you? Okay, I had gained, yeah, here we go. So I gained $15 from working on All Woman, but then I turned around and spent money because Shannon Christine released 2 designs last night that had Melanie written all over them, and I mean like within 5 minutes I was at my computer and PayPaling it up. Okay. Alright, so this one is called Sunflower Patchwork, and this is what this one looks like. You can't tell me that this isn't fabulous. So that, I mean, just look at the house, look at the sunflowers, look at that. Just lit. Just love it. Love it. Then the next one is called Strawberry Patchwork. Just awesome. Look at that. Look at the big strawberries. Look at that strawberry plant. The sundae up in here. You know, big girls always tune into food. So, I was on that. And then the house and the little fence. I mean, just amazing. I don't know when I'll start those. Those might be like, you know what? I probably will start them at the retreat. And that's another thing. It is February 15th. No. 16th. And we have an amazing Soulful Stitching retreat coming up April 3rd through the 5th in Jacksonville, Florida at the Hilton Hotel. And I am ecstatic about it. I cannot wait to see all of my stitching members, see some of my Facebook acquaintances, friends. It's going to be phenomenal. I cannot wait. But, however, that is all I have for you guys today. Not really too much going on, just focusing on a lot of, focus pieces, trying to get things done. Because I'm kind of tired of showing progress. I want to show an actual finishes. I want to show actual finishes. So I really haven't been hopping from here and there. Just kind of within my focus pieces, whatever strikes my fancy, that's what I'm stitching pretty much. So, until next time, you guys stay great, keep stitching, and do something nice for someone today.